The following is a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio. From hot dogs to cool kitties, this is Darkside of the Pooch.
Welcome back to the Dark Side of the Pooch with Rossbridge Animal Hospital's owner, Dr. Rab Stewart. He's got a little smirk on his face. Why not? It's going to be a great show here. Of course, always brought to you by Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Sasquatch Toys and Comics, over 300 wonderful comics. It's amazing how I can't think of another place that's got that many comics, all kinds of old toys. If you got something still in open the box in the 60s and 70s worth big time bucks, call Seth or check out Sasquatch Toys and Comics. A lot of people say, wait a minute, why do we have a toy and comic place actually promoting Darkside of the Pooch? Was a veterinarian pet care show, and that's because Seth used to own Ed's Pet World, so it was a good finish, but he took his business and continued to be loyal to us, so we greatly appreciate that. National championship game tonight. Let's start right there. UConn, Michigan. Who you got?
I mean, I'm saying that UConn covers.
UConn covers. You're not saying they're going to win, but you like them to cover. It's down to 6.5. My son, I have got my son involved in not in gambling, but in these boards, these little pick'em things here, these little, and so I have gotten him involved in 3 or 4 different ones, and I didn't do any this year. And come to find out that he put a bracket in on every one of them. And now he's like, do you know how much that bracket is? Or do you know? I said, no, dude, you need to find out how much these brackets are before you start putting your picks in, because now so one of them, it's $25. There's 48 guys in the contest. Now tell me this, there's 48 guys. He's the only one out of 48 guys that's got Michigan.
Oh, wow.
And so he is.
That's what really surprises me that more people
blows
didn't
me
pick
away.
Michigan.
It blows me away. There out of the 48 guys, there are 10 that have UConn, a bunch had Florida, some had Duke, but there's only one. He's the only one out of 48 guys that has Michigan, and he did it by mistake. He said, I meant to put Arizona, and I clicked the wrong thing, and it went through, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and fill out another bracket, and this one I'll put Arizona as the winner because I really don't think Michigan's going to win it all. So it was purely by mistake, and so.
And you got the UAB flavor. You got the UAB flavor with Yaks.
Got the Yaks thing going. So yeah. So with UAB, hopefully, he said he's playing tonight. He's banged up. They did an MRI and everything on his knee and everything came out negative. But he is banged up, so hopefully he'll play through the pain. He can put a couple shots in that knee and that ankle, and that he'll be just fine. But then they played so well without him, though. I'm kind of one of those guys where. Say you have like a great assistant working there at the Rossbridge Animal Hospital. I
do have a great assistant working here.
Okay. What's her name?
Christy Johnson.
Say Chrissy Johnson is like, she's great, right? Say Chrissy needs to take some time off for maternity leave.
No, she's not allowed to take any time off.
Just listen. Maybe she takes some time off for maternity leave. She needs a couple of months off, right? And so while she's off, your business goes through the roof. I mean, it goes up triple, double, quadruple. I mean, you're making money. You got more dogs. You got a line of dogs and cats out the door like you never seen before. You see where I'm going with this? Because when Yaxel was out of the lineup, at first, Michigan played like garbage the first 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden they went on this incredible run. And quite frankly, they bring him back in the game. Like, what are they doing? Why are they bringing him back in? Of course, he hits a couple of threes. But by that time, they are already up by 15. So why not put him in? I'm thinking to myself, save him for the national championship game. So when you do change things up, and I'm using that as an example, but if you do change things up in your life a little bit, and things start to turn for the right, maybe you start putting your left leg in your pants instead of your right pants first or something. I don't know what it is, but are you one of those guys who will go, hey man, maybe I should start doing this a little differently. Instead of getting my coffee before I go into work, maybe I should drink that coffee, because when I did it worked really well. You know what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, some things, but not really. I'm not a super superstitious kind of person. I don't feel like I have that much control. No, I mean, not really. I tried it one time recently, actually. It's so funny. This guy gave me a piece of jewelry, a very, very nice. I'm not a jewelry guy. Like I wear a watch at work. I wear my wedding band. That's it. So he gave me this piece of jewelry, and he was like, "It's brought me incredible luck over the years.
Really?
So I want you to have it."
Wow.
And
why was he getting rid of it?
Long story. Too long for
Okay.
today.
That's
That's a
very
good.
nice gesture. Very, very nice gesture. Yeah.
So anyway, my son was he plays baseball and he was struggling at the plate for a few games, and I said, "I'm going to wear that. I'm going to take that plate,"
And
and it didn't do anything.
I didn't do it. Damn it. I was hoping it would be a good story. Yeah, there's sitting there watching a game and you get up and you leave and you come back and you're down 15. Now you're down by 5. Sometimes I'll want to duck back out of the room again. I know it's not my call.
You're not that powerful, Tony.
I'm not that powerful. But it is amazing how many people. But now when you're at the game, you really are kind of powerful because players will tell you that the length and the loudness of a particular fan certainly can sway the game a little bit. It shouldn't, but it does. But yeah, sitting on the left side of the couch or the right side of the couch and someone making 3-point ain't gonna make a squat bit of difference. But anyway.
But the only reason, I'll go back to your initial question, the only reason that I'm saying UConn covers is because I feel like everyone and their brother is on Michigan because they have just annihilated everyone.
Well, it's amazing you say that because I just called a friend of mine who is a bookie, and he's got 200 players, and he doesn't have one guy in Michigan tonight. He's like everyone. He's like yeah. I was like, what? I said, go Michigan. I had him 93.76 is what I called it, 93.76. And he goes, I hope you're right. He said, because everyone I've got is on a Michigan and on the money line. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, everybody is on UConn on the money line. And I'm like, that surprises me. Money line means they have to win outright, which means you get $230 on a $100 bet. So, yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I think it'd be great to see my son. And he's a college kid. He needs the jack. $1,200 is life-changing money for him. Now, Dad will get a portion of that because I showed him the way.
You got to pay the dad tax.
It's interesting too. Since we're on this, and I love talking about all kinds of different things. I wanted to see because I got this Christian show coming up at 5:00. I know you listen every day from the office. It's on 101.1 The Truth. And it's a live show from 5 to 6. I do it with Michael Coleman. One of the first questions I'm going to ask him is because so many people do brackets and they have their little bracket challenge at work and everyone puts a little money in, and sometimes it's just for, who's the best, who's not. But I always wondered what the Bible said about gambling. And it doesn't really say a whole lot. And it talks about covetousness and greed. It talks about stewardship of the money. It talks about trusting in God, not in chance. But there's nothing specific. And you know what? Gambling has been around longer than man has been around. I mean, gambling's been around since cavemen. I mean, it's probably the one thing was before cars, before anything, gambling's been out there. Dinosaurs, we were betting on dinosaurs, which dinosaur would eat the bird first. Pop him over the head with the pound and he'd walk away. So it was my best caveman. So I'm really surprised that it's not mentioned in the Bible at all.
Well, so gambling is basically a game of chance, right? It's basically a game of chance. And there are many times
it is a game of chance, but professionals would say it is not.
Right, but they have an edge because they know what they're doing. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, but I get that there are professional gamblers all over the world, but at the end of the day, it's a game of chance. Whether you're playing blackjack, whether you're playing craps, whether you're playing poker, there is an element. It's just a game of chance. You may have an edge because you know a thing or two, but every time in the Bible they talk about casting lots, they're gambling.
Yeah,
they're gambling. Okay, so
explain to people what I know this now, but explain to people what casting lots means.
Well, it basically.
I mean, they gambled for Jesus's clothes.
Clothes. They casted lots for Jesus' clothes. The disciples casted lots to see who they should take to replace Judas.
Yeah.
And because in their minds they said, okay, look, we know that God's in control. We're going to throw these things on the ground, and however it lands, that's what we're going to choose because we know that God has his hands in what we do.
Isn't that crazy?
So, I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of talk of gambling in the Bible, but they did leave some things to chance.
Yeah, they did. And you would think we had an unbelievable week of shows last week because it was Holy Week, and just every single night we went by and we did Spy Wednesday, and I mean, it was just fantastic. It was every year I get older, Easter gets better and better for me. I don't know. It's just like, it just means more and more to me every single year.
Me too.
And it used to just be a Sunday thing, and it just means so much more to me now. than it ever did. So I'm so happy about that. So, all right, great stuff. Let's talk about pet stuff brought to you by Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Anything going on at the office? I don't have anything. I was looking some things up. There's nothing really new going on in the world of pets. Rainer
Let me
Dog
tell you
is doing
something.
fantastic. But what's going on with you?
Tell you something that is just like I still think about how crazy it is. Some of the things that we do. So this dog today had a growth on its.
Real quick. No, go on.
Is that caveman? Is this a caveman?
No, hold on a second. I'm gonna write this down because I know I'm gonna forget. Hold on. Okay. There's something I wanted to bring it that was along with the leather lines. Never mind. Please save me 5 minutes. It's something I got to ask you. Go ahead.
So the interesting thing is like crazy things will happen to dogs, and the only solution is just you have to amputate it. So it's like today we had this dog come in, and it had a growth on its tail, and it was kind of the growth started out small, and we told the owner that, hey, this is going to get bigger, and it's already at a point to where if we remove the growth, we're going to have to amputate the tail. Because
was it like near the end, like it was one of those dinosaur things with a big ball at the end of it?
It was kind of towards the lower third.
Okay.
All right. But so we told them when we first saw the growth, hey, we can't just take this off. The skin's not loose enough for us to remove the growth and close the edges. So when it comes time to have this growth taken off, we're going to have to amputate the tail. And
the entire thing, or just part of it?
Yeah, you have to amputate it above where the growth is.
Sure.
And the owner was very understanding. She got it. And she said, all right, well, when's it going to be time to do it? And I said, when the growth gets big enough that it opens up and bleeds, that's when it's time. And so that day was yesterday. But so it always amazes me. Like, I feel like some days we're practicing medicine like they did in, the Civil War.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because today I had to go out and buy some ink for my printer. It's such a racket. I was part of the Hewlett Packard ink club or whatever, and they were sending me the cartridges. And this is when I used to print like 400 or 500 pages a month because I was printing stuff for my morning show, and I like to have everything in front of me, and I don't do that anymore. And so I got out of the club, and they've been sending me stuff, and so I went and bought the cartridge for $63 today. It was the wrong cartridge because I was supposed to get 63 and not 69. I got the wrong number, but it's the same maker and it fits in there. It just it won't do it. And I'm like, okay, but I'm still thinking to myself, we live in 2026. We can 3D image a house. We can build a house with a 3D printer. And you telling me that we have to go buy this ink that goes on pages that needs to be, you know what I mean? It seems
there are humans that are 250,000 miles from Earth right now.
I know they're traveling around the moon, and I'm having to go buy this little thing full of ink for $63 so I can print a page that's on my computer. And I'm like, it's just, I'm still going to go, well, why do you, if it's on your computer? Well, I got an IEP for my son tomorrow, and I want to print it off so I have it in front of the teachers. I'm not going to take my computer into school. So but it's like, it's just one of those things in life where you're like, wow, how primitive is this? It's just kind of dumb. But I get that. It is pretty amazing though. That right now, what is it? Artemis?
Yeah,
Artemis Pyle. Didn't he play for the Allman Brothers, right? Allman Brothers? Artemis Pyle?
Artemis Pyle.
Yeah, played for the Allman Brothers. Well, got killed. You're going to ask me this here. Hold on a sec. Artemis Pyle.
Butch Trucks played drums. J-Mo played bass. Dickie Betts.
Artemis Pyle was a drummer. American musician, played drummers, Southern rock band Leonard Skinner. 1974, 1977, 1987, 1981. He and his bandmates were inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, Artemis Pyle was the drummer. Thomas Delmer, Artemis Pyle. Tell me that.
Nice name.
Yeah.
That's a name.
It really is. Delmer, your middle name is Delmer? Wow. Okay. So,
Del Mar. He should spice it up. Del Mar.
Del Mar. I used to know a Del Mar. He's still around. He is the president of security at the Coco Amphitheater. We may see him next time a Fish concert comes to town. By the way, are they coming to town this year?
They have not announced.
Did they come every year?
No. I think they're going to have a fall tour, but just 2 days ago, I bought tickets to see my main man, Bruce Hornsby, at the Lyric in 2 weeks. Bruce Hornsby and the Noisemakers.
And I will be going with you, correct?
Well, you're going to have to fight my wife for the ticket.
Damn it. I just heard him. He is You may be careful about what you hear because he's not playing a lot of the hits.
Oh, I'm sure he's not. He's got a new album out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not, and he's not being like, Warren Zevon. I'm not playing that crap anymore. He just like it's not what he wants to play, and it's not. He's like, I enjoyed the hits, I enjoyed writing the hits, but it's not really where my heart is right now. So I'm kind of playing a bunch of different things. So, but man,
I love his band. I love the Noisemakers. His band is so good.
Played
It's
with
such a great band.
now. Are any of the guys in the Hornmakers part of the Range at all?
I don't think so. I
No,
don't think he's got any holdovers from the Range.
Man, he came on like no one knew who he was. And then when he had, that's the way it is. I was like, and I remember playing his first song. I thought, who's this guy? And then I realized just how important he was. That he had played piano. I mean, he played with the Grateful Dead, played with the Rolling Stones. I mean, this guy was like, where has this guy been?
But he was so adult contemporary, because when you think about when that song came out, like Guns N' Roses were still on fire. Like it was all hair metal, and then you got this. I mean, he was basically just an adult contemporary guy.
Valley Road. Man, he had some great stuff, and one of those guys too. One of those guys too, where the songs that aren't the hits are really his good stuff. I mean, if you like that style of music, have you ever heard of a guy named Alec Benjamin? Okay, so my son Xavier, Xavier, started listening to this guy named Alec Benjamin. 32, 33-year-old guy. Don't know where he's from, by himself. And he's had 4 albums out. He's got a new album called AB5, which is coming out sometime this year. And, my son, for people who don't know, he's got special needs, autistic. He's brain dead. He's going to hold 9 yards. When he gets on something, man, he gets on it and he goes narrow and deep, brother. We will wear that out. So we've been listening to Alec Benjamin. He will listen to the same song over and over and over and over and over again. So I say, hey, buddy, let's put it in the new car, man. Let's listen to some new tunes. So we started listening. We got on his page. We subscribed to his YouTube page and started listening to a lot of his music. So he has a song called Jesus in L.A. And it's killer. It's kind of like a rap song. Just Alec Benjamin. When you get done, pull up some Alec Benjamin, because all the stuff kind of sounds relatively the same. Yeah. It's really good. I can see where the younger crowd would love it. And my son said, yeah, he was really hot about 4 or 5 years ago, kind of fell off, but he's got a new album. And so Jesus in L.A. And then he's got another song called Steve, but it's really Adam and Eve and Steve. He talks about Adam and Eve and Steve. And it's funny. And then he's got another song called Oh My God. And I'm like, wait a minute, dude. I said, are you listening to Christian music? He goes, no, because he knows how much I love Jesus. He's like, I don't love Jesus. Jesus is a bunch of hooey. Dad, he disagrees with me. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I know how much he loves Jesus. All right, I'm not praying to Jesus tonight. He don't care, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, you keep on with it. So I said, man, your favorite singer loves Jesus. And so I come to find out that he's not really a Christian writer, or he's not a self-proclaimed Christian, but he writes a lot of songs about God. I don't know how else to put it. Like half his music has some relevancy that has to do with the Bible or Adam and Eve and Steve. And but if you get a chance, go pull up Alec Benjamin, Jesus in L.A. and tell me if you don't think that's like it's about him trying to look for Jesus, and he runs into a drug dealer, and they're in the hills of L.A. and they're popping pills and drinking. He's like, you ain't gonna find Jesus here, brother. He's not in L.A. And he's like, oh, well, you look at the wrong place. They end up just getting high, and it is, but it's good stuff. All right, so from a primitive standpoint, that makes sense. That I wish that was the same thing. Well, it is for humans, right? When we got stuff, I mean, I've heard of people getting bit by brown recluse spiders and they lose their limbs.
Oh, listen, we had, man, I love my kids so much. So like, just a lot of days, it's like, that's what gets me through the day. You know what I mean? And I know you're the same way.
I've had it for 3 weeks. I had my kids for 3 weeks in a row. I was like, it was good. It was so awesome.
So there's this, my 7-year-old is just like, oh my gosh. She's just so sweet and so like full of life. But there's this sweet little girl in her class, and she broke her hand. Little 7-year-old girl, she broke her hand, and she broke it so bad that the blood supply was compromised, and she lost her index finger.
Oh,
they had to amputate it. Yeah, they had to amputate it.
Wow. That's crazy.
We got another friend who their daughter had a pretty bad scooter accident. She's a young girl, and broke her arm. And she has no sensation in her hand right now, and they're worried. They told them, hey, and I mean, this is way out there in worst case scenario, but she could lose her arm.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it does happen with people too, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. Anything else interesting that's been going on with you?
Oh man, not really. Watched some movies recently. Saw
Okay, if this is perfect. Go on.
yeah, I saw the new Mario movie with my son, which he gave it 9.8 out of 10. It would have been a
Wow.
10 out of 10, but he couldn't eat popcorn because he just got braces.
Mhm.
So my son Robert gives the new Mario movie 9.8 out of 10.
Okay.
I saw a recommendation from a friend. It's called Sovereign.
Mhm.
It's got what's the guy from Park and Recs? His name escapes me. Offerman.
Mhm.
All right, that's a true story. All right, I'm not going to give it away, but it's a true story about some vigilantes in Arkansas in 2010.
Mhm.
All right, that was really good. And then what's the new one from Sam Raimi with Send Help. Send Help.
Send Help. All
That's a
right,
good
so
one.
I'm glad you brought this up. This is crazy. All right, this is weird stuff. So I'm sitting around. Friday night, my son comes into town. Friday night, Saturday night, because we watch the basketball games. It's 12:15, and I'm sitting there, and the Meg 2 comes on TBS. You know TBS. You don't ever watch TBS for anything about basketball, so you end up watching all these. They're always pushing these goofy. They got an Anthony show with he's doing pranks on other NBA people. It's stupid. Anyway,
that's dumb.
So the Meg 2 comes on, and it's such a bad movie that we end up watching like a half an hour. And I said, man, there's a movie that you've been wanting me to watch with you. Let's watch the third installment of the Knives Out movie.
Oh yeah.
He went, oh yeah. He goes, can you stay awake? I said, hell, yeah, I could stay awake. He goes, Dad, it's 12:15. I said, I know. I said, if it's good, I'll stay awake. And it's 2.5 hours long. And Daniel Craig's in it. They had two of them in the third installment. They're only released on Netflix. It's called A Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I love it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost like Daniel Craig better in the Knives Out series than I do as James Bond, which is hard to believe.
A lot of people say that.
Because I think he's the best James Bond. So the movie starts, and it's centered around Good Friday at a Catholic church. And then the movie goes through the Easter weekend. And I'm sitting there looking at him going, did you know this was a Easter? And he's like, Dad, I didn't ask to put the movie on. You did. And I had no clue. And I was like, it was perfect. I mean, it was Good Friday. We were sitting there on Saturday, Holy Saturday, and then we're watching this Knives Out. Man, have you seen the third installment? Have you seen any of them?
I haven't seen any of them.
I listen, I only go see like 1 or 2 movies a year. It is so good. It is so good. It'll make you think about it. I do like explosions. I don't like to think a whole lot when I go to the movies. I'm paying $18. I want to be entertained. So this is like, the Clue game. I mean, it's if you're like, I'm not a murder mystery. It's fantastic. It's funny. It's original. It's just amazing how they tied up all the loose ends. But
and they're all on Netflix. All 3 of them, right?
Yeah,
they're all on Netflix. Okay.
Yep.
I have to watch
and it is one of the and they get better and better and better. It is, and Glenn Close is in this one. It is fantastic. And if you're Catholic, I'm Catholic. I just thought it was funny that it was Easter weekend, and that movie, it's like it was Good Friday, and I'm like, wait a minute, yesterday was Good Friday. That's crazy. That's insane. So anyway, did you have a nice Easter?
Yeah, great Easter. We go to church way on the other side of town. So every time we go, it takes us like 40 minutes to get there. So a lot of stuff,
You do that every week?
Yeah, every week. So like Monday, Thursday, Good Friday.
Why don't you find a church closer to the house?
Man, we tried. We love it. We love our church so much.
Okay, good. Good.
So we've been going there for like 15 years. So anyway, I missed Monday, Thursday, missed Good Friday, but yeah, Sunday's great. It's like you, man, the older I get, the more it means to me. And I think it's just, I think it's because I'm getting a better understanding of this world doesn't really have it. It doesn't have a whole lot for me. Because everything that I get, I just want more. I'm never satisfied. So, the teachings that are in the Bible that tell us that all you need is Jesus, man, it's the truth. It's just the truth. And I think that if there's anybody out there, what I tell people is, listen, I've tried it your way. I tried it your way for a long time and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. I found something that works now. And if you can say whatever you want about me, but I tried it your way. So I challenge you to try it my way and see what happens.
Yeah. I think that's a perfectly put. I think it's beautifully put. People would say, I'm living pretty good. I don't have any issues in my life. I'm not close to the Lord Jesus. Look at me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You do it your way. That's fine. And they're like, all I hear is whenever you do become a Christian or born again, or you want to start a very special relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, the Savior, it gets really hard. It gets really tough. And I said, it does. And they're like, why is it? And I said, because if you want to have that relationship with Jesus, you've got to change some things. I'm not doing things right. I have a lot of things that I need to clean up. And if I want to be his friend, and I want him to look after me and bless me, and the other thing is, and I just realized this about a year ago, through everything I've been through, I've really come to learn to take everything that happens to me as a blessing. Blessing's not always good. I mean, I can't say that enough. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're so blessed." I mean, I was blessed to be an alcoholic. I've been blessed that I've been going to court. I've been blessed that, I had issues. I mean, everything is a blessing. It all forms and shapes the way my life is. And there's something to be said about having a good attitude through that. Good attitude. A lot of people are like, why do you have such a good attitude? Because I know I'm blessed and I know I'm going to be taken care of, whether I feel like he's being taken care of or not. But really that idea of surrender was super important to me. And when I finally let it go and I stopped trying to take it back when things start getting good, that's when I really started seeing the blessings. That's when I really started seeing things. And I think I'll never forget, I was watching, I think it's called Jesus, His Life. It's a documentary. It's like 6 or 7 2-hour documentaries on the History Channel. They play it every year, and I watch it every year. I'll watch one after another. I'll stay up and watch the entire thing. And the scene where he is being hit with the cattails, and then he's taking the cross and he's going up and being hung. It just makes me weep.
Mm-hmm.
I just weep.
Man,
I've never seen Passion of the Christ. I haven't seen any of these other Jesus movies, and perhaps I should. This was not made for television, so it's pretty gnarly. But I feel so horrible as a human being.
I hate it.
I said, Lord Jesus, I am so sorry we put you through this. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe. And then I think to myself, oh, look at me. I mean, I'm just a grain of sand on the beach of life, man. I need to be. I am so blessed. I mean, the gratification I should have just every day of being 6 feet under or 6 feet on top, so 6 feet under. It's huge. And every time I watch that, man, it brings me to my knees, and I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that we put you through this. And I'm so sorry for what we're doing now. I mean, it's like, so this year I kind of dedicated myself to not only pray for the people and the friends in my life like you, who I love, but also for the ones who are lost. I really made a concerted effort, and I'd never done that before. Someone kind of put that little bird in my ear and said, man, let's pray for people that are lost. They can't find Jesus, don't know how to find Jesus, don't even know if Jesus exists, but let's pray for those people, because we need more of those people to find him and make the sacrifice of learning to love him and do the right thing. So, all right, with that said, 101.1, The Truth. If you're listening to this show live on the YouTube channel, slide on over to 101.1, The Truth. I'll let you do that. You can still listen to Tony Curry Radio, and we do a show live from 5 to 6 p.m. tonight. We do take phone calls, 941-1011, 941-1011. You can call the show, be part of the show. If you have a question for Tony or Michael tonight, you can do that, and then we'll do a live show. So thank you, my friend. I love you. Brought to you by Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Over 300,000 comics available for you. It's amazing. The biggest comic selection you'll find. Legos, Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, you name it, he's got it down there. If he doesn't have it, he'll find it for you. He's amazing. Seth Cosby. Check out Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Thank you, my friend. I will talk to you next week.
Talk to you later, bud.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.